moving on, knockout of the night.
Yeah, buddy.
Knockout of the night. Oh, man. It was fucking exciting. It was, I mean, this could have gone, if it had gone a little bit longer, it would have been fight of the night. But if it had gone a little bit longer, somebody might have died in there because it was fucking crazy. Najim Wali versus Nick Grady. Najim got the TKO/knockout, but hats off to both of these guys.
Yeah.
It is not too often that you see big 205ers come in there throwing leather and moving like that.
Yeah.
And I spoke to Nick's coach last night, Mike Pagano, about Nick. And apparently Nick came down off from 250. He came down from 250, dieted and trained himself down to 205 to get into that fight. So
good shit, man.
Right, you're right. So that's a big tip of my hat right there to you for being professional, making a decision, committing, sticking to it, and making that damn weight so that you can go in there and put on a show. Najim Wali, he was just better. That's all. I mean, he
longer reach.
Yeah,
and was able to command it a little bit better.
Yeah,
and even as a technique slob that I am, most of the time, if I'm watching like a high level MMA fight, I kind of will turn my nose up when guys will just come out there and they just bang and throw leather. That shit was beautiful last night. Najim had excellent control of his range, and even on the defensive end of things. Nick was still able to pull and roll up under shit and have like proper elbow and body defenses for shots.
Yeah.
He played a very good defensive game for a shorter fighter going against a longer striker.
Yeah.
It was textbook.
And let me correct myself. I said that Najim was better. He was better that night. Two people go into that cage. One person's going to win. One person's going to lose. Whoever shows up better that night wins. And Najim was better that night. Again, I can't commend each fighter anymore. It was an exciting fight. Nick took some heavy shots early on, and there was a couple points where he took a couple heavy shots like straight down the pipe. His nose got busted up. He reeled back onto the cage. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I saw him smile and then step back in and start throwing again. Yeah. It was crazy. And this is why we have Jamal here, because I'm not as good at pointing out the technicalities of the striking as Jamal is. But I could tell that Najim was trained enough, he was skilled enough to not put he put Nick in a bad position. He had his back against the cage. He had him reeling from some strikes, and instead of just throwing looping punches to try to overwhelm him straight to the head, he went body head, straight punches to looping punches. Yep. Like you said, he picked his shots clean and got the stoppage. Also, another first round finish. Like I said, man, if that went any longer, there would have been two big-ass bodies that had to get drug out of that cage at the end of the night because they were going for it. So congrats to both of these guys, especially congrats to Najim Wali for getting the Fight Philosophy podcast knockout of the night.
You could hear the leather exchange, and I was sitting up top in the third row.
Oh, yeah.
I know you was in the fancy box.
Oh yeah.
Well, I was still connected to the people out here.
Yeah. Well, you know how we do.